everyone. My name is Goran Abramovic, and I'm the General Manager for Europe for AfterpayTouch Group, which is basically a Australian-based company. And I'll tell you a little bit more about myself, about the company and our products as we go along down the presentation. First of all, I have to say that it's my first time in Japan, and I appreciate it very much. It's a beautiful country, and I hope to do it for 3 more weeks. So we're talking about the financial technology, and financial technology is nothing but innovation, disruption, and change. Fintech is one of the most interesting industries at the moment, and I think it's ever-changing environment with all these little disruptive companies successfully changing the way that the traditional banks are doing the customer financing and payment settlements. It's changing very rapidly. But the question is, how disruptive this fintech is? And Ralph Hammers, ING Group Bank CEO, says that the 35% of his bank revenue is under threat from the disruptive companies. 35% is quite a lot, knowing that ING Group revenue is 18 billion euros, which is quite a lot. So the change is coming, and all players in the financial industry will have to embrace it. Some changes coming from the consumers who demand more from the retail banking. Some changes coming from the people who want to innovate, the innovators. But also the changes coming from the governments who want to change the regulation for fintech industry. Some for worse, some for better. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in today's presentation. So, by the way, today I'll be talking about fintech and about creating products and services for fintech customers. Fintech customers are quite unique customers, and you need to know who they are, so when you develop products and services for them, they're tailored for their needs. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. And I'll also talk about the 2 case studies. One is AfterpayTouch, which is our own company, which actually created a deferred payment method tailored exactly for the specific group of people. And I'll explain you how tailoring the company and the product for this group of people created success for AfterpayTouch Group. And also I'll be talking about the new startup company called ChangeUp as well, and as well how they're designing the product exactly to fit those new fintech customers that I'll explain a little bit more. So, all throughout the ages, the payment settlement has been a friction between a service provider and the consumer. Payment settlement takes time, it's often confusing, and creates misunderstanding between the consumer and the service provider, especially when it's done in an environment where there are multiple currencies. Payment settlement is also a psychological burden for the consumer. We all like to shop until the moment we have to pay. So when payment comes, then it actually creates a problem. So how do you remove this friction from payments? The goal of the financial technology is to remove or reduce the friction in payments. And let me give you a good example of that. One of the disrupting companies, everybody knows about Uber. Uber is a disrupting company in many industry segments, in the taxi industry, but also they've done something with the financial payments that's actually quite important. They removed completely the friction in payment settlements between the driver and consumer. You know, when I jump in an Uber, I drive, I come to the destination, I simply get out of the car. The payment is done in the background. That's actually quite important and creates the customer satisfaction. I believe this is one of the reasons why Uber has been a successful company. It will be interesting to see how Uber will be successful if the payment has to be done. Will the same satisfaction if the consumer is having? Reducing friction in the payment industry or for any other financial product, it actually creates a win-win situation for all parties involved in the transaction. So to have a successful fintech product for your consumers, you need to remove or reduce that friction in the payment settlement and create a win-win situation among all parties. And we can all what is the win for the service provider? Well, we all know that. The win for the service provider is to generate more money and to have happily returning customers. But the question is, what is the win for the consumer? And that's the question that we are actually trying to answer today. And to understand this, we need to better understand who are the consumers of the fintech product. And at least in the Western world, that generation is actually called the millennials. You need to build the product and services for the characteristics of millennials so they can accept that's your product. So millennials are a generation that's actually born in 1980 to 2000. They're the most technologically savvy generation. They're the most educated generation in Western history. They are entrepreneurial. They're impatient. They're nomadic. They're very socially responsible. And they also want instant gratification. I will give you a quote from one of the guy called Simon Sinek. He is a writer and motivational speaker. And he has one of the most popular TED speeches on leadership. And he said that the perception of millennials is that they are tough to manage, they're also accused of being entitled and narcissistic, self-interested, unfocused, and lazy. But there are actually two more characteristics for the millennials. And that is that they are not loyal and they want instant gratification. You know, when they call that taxi, they want it right now. So they're very tough customers. So how do you build a product for them? But not everything is that bad. Nick Molnar, the proper 27-year-old and the co-founder of AfterpayTouch product, is a proper millennial, and he actually says that millennials are not unloyal. Quite contrary. They're vocally loyal, but to the brands that deserve their support. The bar to loyalty is set very high, but when the millennials believe in the brand or have a true connection to the product that makes them so special, they will become vocally loyal. And I'll talk about what that vocally loyal means and why it's very important, and how Afterpay used vocally loyal customers to propagate the product and for the success that they're actually having. A little later, I'm actually going to give you a very good example of how the customers can be your best friends and best salesmen in the market. So millennials are early adopters of the technology trends. They are disruptors. They will be your first customers when you develop your fintech product. And if you successfully cater and tailor your product to fit those characteristics, you're actually going to have a successful startup company. So now actually we know who the fintech customers are. And like I said, we're going to talk about how Afterpay and ChangeUp are actually embracing that, and how they're working and building that product to fit those characteristics. But just a little bit about myself. For the last 15 years, I have been associated with a company called TouchCorp. It's an Australian publicly listed company. TouchCorp specializes in building the infrastructure for electronic distribution of products and services in the online environment, but also in the physical retail locations. But after that, in the course of the 15 years, we also started doing a lot of things with the payment processing, payment verification, and security. We are a technology hub. AfterpayTouch Group is actually a combination of two companies that decided to merge in 2017. So to form one is company is Afterpay, and the other one is Touch Group. So creating the AfterpayTouch Group, the idea is actually to create a vertically integrated payment company. And the mission statement is actually to make purchasing feel great for global consumers. So everybody wants to hear the Afterpay. I don't know how many Afterpay is only in the Australian market. It's been there for 2 years. I don't know if it has any notion of here in Japan or in the Asian countries, but I promise you it's going to be short. So Afterpay is nothing more than the shop now, take now, paying for installments. It's a product that for a consumer gives the ability to pay 4 installments over the course of the next 60 days at 0 interest. And this is how it works. Afterpay is actually integrated as a payment method on your favorite retail store. So you select the product, you go all the way to the payment options, then you're going to probably have a credit card, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal. You're also going to have Afterpay. After selecting Afterpay, if you are actually first-time customer, you will need to set up the account. That account can last up to 2 minutes to set it up. We'll take your credit or debit card to actually set up the account. After, if you're a registered customer, you can just log in. After that, you basically get instant approval for the loan. And you as a consumer actually have to pay that loan over the next 60 days at zero interest. It's very simple. And the success of the product in the Australian market actually has been quite amazing. Over the course of the last 2 years, we went from the 10 online retailers to now having payment methods to over 7,200 online retailers. It has more than 1 million registered customers, but mind you, in a country of 23 million people, and it processes more than, now it's 1.2 billion Australian dollars in annual sales, and actually has a big market share as a payment method, over 20% in the online apparel shopping, and also 5% of all retail e-commerce in Australia goes over AfterpayTouch, and it will continue to grow. The question that we are all asking, I mean, why it has been so successful? Because these are the successful numbers for AfterpayTouch. It is because we actually created a win-win situation, both for the consumer and for the retailer, but also for themselves. So for the consumer, it's actually quite simple. Is they do not charge, you as a consumer, you're not being charged for the service. It's very important. You pay that over 4 installments over the 6 days, but you can also make a payment in advance. In today's world, why is it important that you're not charging consumers? In today's world, financing companies are considered greedy, and also they're making money on less fortunate people. So it's a bad reputation. But once you actually have a payment method and a financing company that gives your customer product for free, it's actually you're a very socially respectable member in the industry, which is very important to those millennials that I talked about, which are the customers of AfterpayTouch. AfterpayTouch charges the merchant, on average, 4% for provisioning the service. Merchant gets paid immediately in a return. But also it's quite important why the merchants are willing to pay this 4%. Because statistics have shown that the consumers who use AfterpayTouch as a payment method have 30% bigger basket size than the consumers who are paying with a normal debit card or a credit card. In some cases, that 30% is almost 60%. So for a merchant, it's a payment method that generates revenue, and that's very important. That's why it actually went all the way to 7,200 online retailers in Australia in over the course of the 3 years' time. And the most important thing for the merchants now, AfterpayTouch takes the responsibility for a consumer not paying the loan. Merchant gets paid initially. So the merchant does not have to deal with the chargebacks and all those things they have to do when it processes payment through the credit card or a debit card. So it's everybody win situation. It's a win-win. But there is one more ingredient to the success of AfterpayTouch, in my opinion, and that is that through Nick Molar, who is a millennial, he helped create the product for the right target audience. AfterpayTouch paid great attention to the needs of millennials and has designed the product and a special marketing campaign to make the product in the Australian market seem cool for young people, fashionable, and also to provide this instant gratification which millennials are looking for. You know, they want that dress now, not when they pay it in 4 installments in 60 days. So that was a very important characteristic that was supposed to be met when designing product for the millennials. So by doing that, they created something which we call a vocally loyal customers. So over the course of 2 years, there are more than 100 registered customers, and to give you an example how important they are, how vocal they are, AfterpayTouch customers created a Facebook page called We Love Facebook. And there are hundreds, regardless of AfterpayTouch people, Nobody else in the company has ever done it. It wasn't our initiative. The customers took initiative on their own to create a website. It has more than 100,000 followers. And they're the ones that are actually educating other consumers about how to use the product, where to use that product in which stores. And also, interestingly, when some of the bigger stores are not yet having AfterPay as a payment method, they create online campaigns to go after those retailers, to educate them, and to sign them up for the program. I mean, they're your best salesmen. So millennials are very loyal. Just build the product for them, and they're going to help you grow. Because the millennials are satisfied, 75% of all AfterPay customers today are millennials. 85% of all monthly transactions that AfterPay does are returning customers. That tells you they're happily using product. But this 85% of actual customers returning back is also very important later, where we talk about how important it is for the technology to reduce the fraud in this system for people who are not paying the transaction. AfterPay will continue to grow, and that growth is going to be propelled by the millennials. In the same way they're actually we are going after some retailers, we're going after some other industry segments. The consumers are helping us grow, and that growth will continue. And I'll go a little bit theoretical right now and tell you why that growth is actually going to continue. And it's very important when you're creating a fintech company to think about this. And there's something called law of diffusion of innovation. It's a theory by Everett Rogers that actually explains why, how, and what rate the technology or product is actually being spread. The theories actually state that diffusion is a process by which innovation is communicated across participants in a social system. And the participants in a social system are humans, but the innovators, they're in 5 categories. Innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, or laggards. To give you an example about the breakdown, let's say when the new smartphone comes out, innovators, those people, will be 3 days in advance in a store, line up to wait for the new product. The early adopters are going to buy the product in the first week. Early majority will buy the product within the first 6 months. Late majority are basically people who just buy it and their phone breaks down. Laggards are people who still use the rotary phone. They will never buy a smartphone. You have to accept that. So why this theory is actually important, and why do you have to actually be aware of that, is that the innovation or any product, to be widely accepted, it needs to self-propagate. And there is a point in a market adoption at which the product reaches a critical mass, after which the product will pretty much self-propel on the market. And in technology, in a fintech, at least in Australia, that is around 18%. The market, so if you reach 18% market share, and you continue doing the good work, and there's no major disruption in your industry, the product itself is actually be self-sustainable and grow. And as I said, that's actually 18%. So that's basically, if you get innovators, you get early adopters, and a little bit of early majority, you're already there. And for AfterPay, that was very important. That's why it's focused on millennials, because millennials can help you get to those 18%. Because remember in the previous statistic I was talking about success of the company, AfterPay already reached 20% of all online apparel sales in Australia. So it already reached the critical mass. Now, we just need to continue doing the good work to actually that propelled by itself by having the vocal customers going forward. But also, we now need to use that momentum to go into other industry segments. And we are going to other industry segments. AfterPay, over the last couple of months, entered the New Zealand market, so we're propagating there. And we also, so it's new geography, and we'll see how it goes. The mentality of people is different than Australia, even though they're New Zealand and Australia close, they're different. It's going to be a good testing ground for us. But also we entered a completely new industry segment, and that is the travel industry. So last week we announced a deal with the major Australian airlines that people will be able to buy products using AfterPay. Now, why is the travel industry important? Because who travels? The millennials, especially in Australia. The young people, they go to travel. You build that product. So you always, when you expand into new geographies or new markets, you always have to think about your initial customers. So I think, being probably presumptuous, AfterPay is a success story. It's been a good product, but it will have to be properly managed. Now, when we talk about AfterPay, it's a financing company. So you can properly ask, why is this fintech? Well, that's a fair question. I believe it's a fintech, and the reason I believe is because I come from Tasco, which is a technology provider to AfterPay before, and now part of our ATC group. We actually, so for AfterPay to be successful and to create positive returns, it has to have a technology in place that will analyze transactions in real time and make a determination, will this customer be allowed to get the loan or not? And it has to be happening very quickly. During the transaction process, in the background, we do a lot of machine learning and behavioral pattern checking to determine if the customer is happy. But also why technology is very important. We cannot burden the customer to enter the big registration and loan forms. We don't care about the information he provides. We check his behavior on the internet. We check his credit card. We check all the information that he unwittingly is giving to us to be able to make a pattern in determination, will this person be able to pay the loan or not? And that's why you need to have fintech. You need to remove the friction between the service providers and the consumers. And you do that by actually removing unnecessary questions in the process. So one of the most important matrix, and how AfterPay is judged as a successful company is something that is called net transaction loss. Net transaction loss means that loans that were either never going to be paid, either because of fraud or people defaulted on that. In AfterPay case, today, that's 0.6%. It started in the past, it was almost 0.9%. When we went public in prospectus, we said it's going to be 1.6%. But over time, as more transactions go into the system, as more consumers are actually using the system, the more information the system is happening, and there's a lot of machine learning and neural networks and artificial intelligence in the background to create a pattern for people who are actually paying the loan or not paying the loan. And for that reason, you need to have a technology in the back to be able to have a successful AfterPay business. So for that reason, I will argue basically that it is a proper fintech company. It removes the friction by using technology, and it's using the machine learning behavioral pattern and neural networks to decrease the very key matrix that all the finances are looking, what is your net transaction loss. So that's why it's a proper fintech company. But interestingly, AfterPay is not just a payment method for the online retailers. We have over 7,200 retailers. Many of them have physical stores. Their consumers are asking them, why cannot use AfterPay in a physical store? So we get a request from the retailers, we want AfterPay as a payment method inside the stores. So as a reaction to that, we developed a mobile application. It's called AfterPay in-store. And this is actually how it works.
To start shopping in-store with AfterPay, download the app or visit afterpay.com.au. Simply create an account. It takes less than 2 minutes. Enter the amount you expect to spend and your payment details. You'll be approved instantly and a unique barcode will be generated. To purchase your items, present the barcode for scanning at the register. That's it. Now you can take your items home and let Afterpay do the rest. Afterpay will send a reminder before a payment is deducted from your account. There is no interest, it's fast and it's secure. Why pay in full when you can pay in full? Just Afterpay it.
Well, just Afterpay. Well, as you can see, it's very easy to use. As soon as we introduced this application on an App Store, it was number one of the downloaded application in Australia. Until this point, it was downloaded more than 300,000 times, and the numbers is actually continuing to grow. So 30% of our customer base currently are using Afterpay in-store. It's still in infancy. We'll have to see how that develops and everything. But most importantly, it is that we also remove the friction when consumers are using this application inside the store. Remember during the application, we said we generate a unique barcode. So if I'm in the store, I choose the dress, I go to the retailer, the only thing that the interaction time between the consumer and the retailer is I show the barcode to the merchant, they scan it, and automatically the approval process is being done. TouchShop as a company had a long experience of dealing with the cash register, so we're using that experience in actually putting the third-party application onto the cash register, which, as any of you involved in the cash register, it's a big problem. So we use that experience, we use being a technology company, how to integrate and how to remove the friction in between service provider and the consumer. So Afterpay, as I said before, Afterpay is a payment method. But can you tell me what other payment method is working this closely with the consumers, but also with the retailers to increase the sales? So usually the merchants see the payment method as an expense. It's a 4% or a credit card is an expense. But in Afterpay case, they see it as a revenue generating tool. Another way how we help once you're recognized as a revenue generating tool, it's very easy to sell and ask other merchants to accept the product. But one other way how we actually helping retailers generate revenue, on Afterpay page, we actually created a reversal lookup page where Afterpay consumers can go and check which locations that can use Afterpay as a payment method and what products and services they can buy in those stores. And it's one of our most popular web pages. A lot of customers are going and first checking which store has Afterpay as a payment method, and then to go to the store to pay it. This is different. So that's Afterpay. It created a product that was specifically targeted for the millennials, for the needs of those millennials, and the millennials helped propagate the product through the market. And it will be interesting to see where we take that product next. We'll take it to different geographies, we'll take it to industry segments, but it'll also be interesting to see how in the new constellation of AfterpayTouch group, what other financial products and services we can propagate to the consumers. But maybe we keep it simple, because it works. But there's one other company that I would like actually to talk about, and that is a company called Changes. And it's actually making the change work. But the change we're talking about is fair change, the one you actually live in the public. And the reason I would like to talk about the change of it, before TouchShop became part of AfterpayTouch Group, we actually one of our activities was to help people with ideas and to give them the technology platform, to give them processing platform, to give them fraud and security expertise, and in some cases, even to provide them with funding to start a company. And in some cases, TouchShop was almost a corporate incubator, and incubator was one of our products. And one other company that was actually, besides Afterpay, that utilized that TouchShop technology is a company called Change. And they have a quite ambitious proposition. They want to get rid of the spare change in the world. And this is how they want to do it.
This year, a new service is launched, making it possible for the customers to save their change directly on their phone. No coins rattling in their pockets. They can then use their change for payment in store, transfer it to their personal bank account, or donating to charity of their choice. Reduce the handling of cash and thereby your costs. Increase your turnover. Boost customer loyalty. Be a good store. Change up.
Change up. So it actually makes sense. You know, I as a consumer, I go to a store, I buy something, I get change, I put it in my pocket. Then I get my car, I get out, I put it in my car, or I get home, put it in my car. Thanks, I go to the store, I don't have my change. This way, I can actually, in a change up way, the change is never there when I need it, and it just powers my car and my house. So in change up way, you can store that change in your mobile application. You can actually use that change as a payment method in the future in the store, or other participants store it in store. I can either donate to a charity organization, which is very important for those millennials, if you remember. And also, you can, after a while, after you collect this amount, you can transfer it to the bank account. So it makes change work. So change up doesn't want to just be a solution for one retailer. They actually want to have a participating group of retailers that are not competing, but they have a similar and complementary customer base and offer this application as a collection but also as a payment application. So where you can ask yourself right now, is this just another mobile wallet? And the answer, and the question is, yeah, maybe. In 2006, there were 410 million mobile wallet accounts over 310 wallet schemes worldwide. So there are a lot of wallets, and how do you differentiate yourself? And this is something that changes we need to do very fast and very successfully. Now, talking about the mobile wallet, before we go to change it, all mobile wallets, regardless of what they have two problems. First problem is, you need to get a customer to download the application and put some money in. The second one, to make it work, is something called velocity of money. Once the money is in the system, how often that money in the system gets used before being taken out? So those are the two problems that every wallet faces involved, and if you successfully can solve it, then it has a successful wallet. The only successful wallet that I'm aware of is Starbucks. That is the most successful wallet firm. But ChangeUp is a little different. So ChangeUp has an interesting challenge. You need to create a win-win scenario for all participants in the system, the same way like AfterpayTouch did. But also you need to address those two problems that all wallets are facing. And first of all, let's talk about the win-win situation for ChangeUp customers. Customers get a product that gives them ability to store the money and be used as used to pay expenses. It gives them also ability to spend this in a socially acceptable manner, which is, as I said, very important to the millennials. And also, it's free for them. The only time the consumer will pay a fee to change them is when they decide to take the money outside the system and put it to their bank account. And pretty much that fee is because, first of all, you want to discourage them to get money out of the system. The second thing is you need to pay bank. So you need to have that fee purchased. But retailers, the benefits for the retailers are even better. They get rid of the handling the cash. In Europe, handling the cash is quite expensive, but I'm sure it's quite good. Some studies suggest that the cost of handling physical cash is actually 1% of the face value of the coin. And it's actually quite a lot, especially in the retailers. We're dealing with 1% margin industry. Retailers also benefit from the returning customers. Once I go to a store and I receive a change, I can spend that change anywhere. But if I put it in mobile wallet, I can only spend it in that store. So granted, I will most likely come back to the store to actually sell. So they have increased the sale and they have returning customers. this actually creates a very unique loyalty and non-intrusive loyalty program. It's not another loyalty program that gives you a card. It's actually a loyalty program in the product itself, and it's actually in your phone, and it's not just a loyalty program, you can also use it for the paying stuff and paying goods in the store. And retailers also receive an embedded marketing and couponing platform. As a part of the application, there is a marketing ability to send coupons that people will be able to use in the stores. And that's a marketing and good promotion tool. Then again, what Change.Up is trying to do is again trying to create a payment method that's also a revenue generating tool. And we saw in the case of AfterpayTouch to see how that's important, how is that important for the success of the company. And also by getting rid of the spare change and making digital, it actually speeds up the transaction time. And transaction time is actually quite important. I believe that Change.Up is actually being very smart in the way, if you saw the presentation or that video was not for us, the consumers. That was actually for the retailers. So one way of actually how they want to solve the first problem of all mobile wallets is how to get people to download it. Instead of Change.Up going and putting signs all over the street, please download the application and use it at 7-Eleven, they're going to retail chains like 7-Eleven here in Japan and saying, why don't you use this application because you see all these benefits and you promote this application to your consumers because you're going to save money and you're going to have a new marketing promotion tool. So I think that's actually quite smart. And it will help this is a product that's perfectly suited for the retail convenience sector, for the 7-Eleven types and other things like that. These kind of establishments, they usually get money in cash. The second thing is they don't have any loyalty program. And third thing is transaction time has to be very quick. Transaction time has to be very quick because they're mostly transit passengers. So with having its spare change actually being digitalized, it helps with the transaction time. I actually talked to one of the largest European retail convenience sector, and they say if the product takes more than 30 seconds of interaction between the service provider and consumer, we do not put that product in our stores. So that's actually quite important when Change.Up is designed the way with technology that it doesn't take more than 30 seconds. As I said, being able and gearing that product for the retail convenience sector, it actually solved the first problem of online wallets. Change.Up is not live yet, and it will go live next month with one of the largest European convenience sector that has stores in Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So we're going to see interesting to see how it goes. But the retailer itself took the responsibility to promote this product. They're going to have a promotion where say, if you download the application and use it to pay the first time, you're going to get a free coffee and croissant. But the most important thing that this retailer is doing is they will send this application to 5,000 of their own employees, people who work in the store, and they will put some money for those retailers to use it, to spend it. It's quite important because, for two reasons. First of all, it's going to create some base of customers that will be able to use the application. The second thing is customer service. If the retailer, the merchant in the background knows how to use the application because they use it themselves, they have some money, when the customer comes in the store and asks them what is this, they will know. They will be able to address their questions. And that's very important because you only have one chance with the customer to make them download the application. So Change.Up was actually quite smart, being different than other wallets. Instead of going after consumers directly, they go after the retailers to help them solve that problem. The second problem that obviously Change.Up will have is once you have it in the system, they will need to work with both the retailer and the consumer. Same way that AfterpayTouch did to promote usage of the system. So they will need Change.Up will work to sign up a non-competing retailer that has a similar customer base where the retailers can go together. For example, 7-Eleven, McDonald's, they're usually not that direct competitors. If 7-Eleven, and we don't have cool brands. That's something which appeals to millennials. If you're able to get this kind of, and they are, they're making an effort in Switzerland with that, once you get those cool retailers, it's associated with those millennials, and that will help you propagate the product. Couponing, as I said, will also be a big part of the change of optimization and ability to work with the retailers how to target the consumers. Once you do that, again, I'll re-emphasize one more time, then the change of it is not just a payment method, it's a revenue generating tool for the retailers. And this is something that will help you propagate and make you different than any other payment method. Once change-up is successful to get multiple retailers across multiple jurisdictions, so let's say you have retailers in Switzerland, you have it in Scandinavia, you have it in Austria, you have it in Germany, you have some Asian countries. Then it's just the imagination of what kind of products and services you can offer as a payment method to those consumers. Instead of actually just being a cash collecting agent in store, you can develop a peer-to-peer payment platform, you can develop international money transfer platform, and all this regulation. The key is, once you get a customer base, once you have a foot in the door by having an application in mobile phone that are using, then you actually have a nice playground to develop new financial products and services on top of that application. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how ChangeUp is going to utilize this network that they're helping to get by having the retailers working for them to get the customer base. As I said, it's going to be interesting to see how ChangeUp develops. Before we go to any Q&A session, I'd like to talk just one other topic, which is a little different than the previous group presentation, and that is EU regulatory environment. EU, all fintech companies, they have to deal with those customers, those millennials, but they also have to deal with the government. It's a painful process. And fintechs are disrupting the traditional banks and the governments. And governments are just keeping up with the legislation. And some governments have rejected the change and put stricter regulations on fintech companies. It's very hard to set up a fintech company in those countries, manage the money or anything like that. But some governments actually embrace the change. And one of that government is actually EU. They embraced the change, and they actually said that 2018 is going to be a game-changing year for the retail banking. And the way they actually done it is they created something called Payment Service Directive version 2, which is an updated version of Payment Directive that came in 2007 that says the EU should be a single market. The first directive didn't work very well. They introduced this one in 2015, which will become very active from 2018. But the most important thing they introduced in that one is the following. PSD2 enables, Payment Service Directive 2 enables consumers to use third-party providers, so non-banks, to manage their finances using the banking infrastructure. What actually regulates is, EU has told all the banks, you need to develop the API where you expose your customer information, your also payment services information for any licensed company in Europe to do that. So, I can actually set up a company, get a license form from my home state. That license is available, getting worked in any European country, and I can actually initiate the payments using the banking infrastructure. I can also obtain information about the consumer from the bank. As I said, the bank will not have a choice in not implementing this API. By 2018, all the banks have to implement that API. So PSD2 introduced two additional players in the financial market. One is called Payment Initiation Service Provider, and one is Account Information Service Provider. And that completely opens up the fintech world in Europe. The Payment Initiation Service Provider is a company that will be able to initiate the payments, which means is, for example, I set up a company, and I can basically get a permission from person A to go into this bank account, take the money, and deposit to the bank account of the person B. And for using the banking infrastructure. And what this will enable, for example, a lot of P2P companies to be established, a lot of money transfer companies to be established using the banking infrastructure. It will enable large retailers to apply for this license and go directly to the consumer bank account to take the money, circumventing Visa, MasterCard, and others. And also, it's very foreseeable, Google and Facebook will apply for this and start processing payments directly with the consumers. Completely circumventing the credit cards and all that. Account information service provider companies will be the companies. Let's say I have 3 bank accounts and I have 3 insurance products. I can give a permission to the account information service provider, go to my 3 bank accounts, get that information, get my information about insurance, and analyze my spending. But also these companies will be able to provide a much new way of credit scoring to other companies. So it will be able to analyze information. All of that is, so you can see that it's actually quite bold what Europe is doing. And it's basically doing all these changes because they want to ultimately benefit the consumers, the end consumer. With this introduction, there's going to be a lot of innovation in the European market, and completely new business models are actually going to be developed. And just imagine once AfterPay can change it going to Europe, what kind of ability they will have to do by having those two licenses. One thing that the EU, if they want to give the power to the consumers instead of actually to the banks. So they're going to be, obviously, it's PSD2 is still, what I'm doing right now is utopian. We'll see over the next 12 months how the banks are fighting this, but they are losing the fight. But it's going to see how they develop the technology to actually support this ambiguity over 28 member states of the EU. And so it's a single market of 400 million people. So you can expect over the next few years a lot of fintech money in venture capital being put in Europe to actually utilize them to exploit the advantages that the European Commission just gave them. So, in summary, I can basically tell you this. If you're a fintech, and if you're trying to set up a product and service, first of all, know your customer. Let them help you build the product. Let them help you propagate the product. Reduce the friction. Use the technology to remove the interaction between service providers and consumers. It has the ability to make or break your product. Apply technology. Let me spell it here. Apply technology. Build state-of-the-art system that will give you the security and that will give you scalability, because trust of the customer is important. You only, especially in the financial tech sector. And embrace regulation. You know, it might give you the ability to have a competitive advantage compared to others. Thanks very much. Questions? I know I covered a lot of topics and other things, so any questions?
ありがとうございます。日本でモバイルペイメントをやっています。ご質問なんですが、まずアフターペイのところで、これってビジネスモデルについて、すみません。
I won't be here for 3 days, and it's hard to learn Japanese in 3 days.
アフターペイのビジネスモデルのところで、加盟店に決済 4% チャージするだけですか、なんか他にビジネスモデルがあるのかなと思っています。なんか結構、これって後払いのサービスだと思っているんですけれども、回収できなかったお金とか、あと回収コストとかもあるので、どういったビジネスモデルになっているか興味を持っています。
Yes. Okay. The majority of the revenue is from the 4%. That 4% is actually on average across 7,000 recruiters. Some of them are actually paying the higher fee, some of them are paying a little lower fee than that. But on average it's 4%. We actually increased it right now to 4.1 by adding others. Because the consumers are telling the retailers, please take the AfterpayTouch payment, they're coming back to us and we negotiate the terms. So we are able to increase that now to 4.1%. Yes, we do charge a late fee, but the late fee is, first of all, we don't want to make money on late fees because those have to hurt, and it's a very, very small percentage of the business, and we do not want to make that business.
Just a quick question on expansion. Benchmarking, obviously you're based in Europe, but
Where's your microphone?
How do you see Afterpay expanding beyond Australia into Europe, and which market would be next?
As you can imagine, sorry. So the question is, where do we see Afterpay expanding in the future, and which markets? And the answer is, I cannot tell you that. It's publicly listed company, you cannot tell that, but I have to tell you, I'll tell you the following. Whatever we do, we'll do it very carefully. And even the latest annual presentation, when we talk about how we entered New Zealand, and I'm sure you're familiar, you look familiar with that market and everything in product, we went through the partner, a company called TradeMe, and we did indicate in the investor relations speech and in the presentation that this might be a model going forward. And we'll just have to see where we can expand in the future.
チェンジアップの話をされていたと思うんですけれど、チェンジアップは、利益は企業側はどのように入れるのでしょうか。
Well, they will generate it. So the question is about how we change it, like money, what is the business model? And you're right, the change of actually changes from make money by a couple of transactions. First of all, whenever the consumer uses changes to pay inside the store, the retailer will pay the fee. That's one way. The other way is whenever the money is transferred outside the system, then it's going to be additional fee associated with that. But the fee, actually, the most important fee is when in the store, if you collect money, it's free of charge, but when you spend it, it's actually going to be a cost associated with that for the retailer. Additional benefit that's going to have an additional revenue stream is going to be to the marketing and the couponing capability of the platform to go after the consumers.
1点目がですね、ニュージーランドにビジネスを拡充するというふうにお話しいただいたわけですけれども、オーストラリアと、ニュージーランドでのこういったサービスに対する消費者の抵抗感とか何かしらの違いみたいなものが今のところ確認されているのであれば、それはどういったことなのかを教えていただきたいというのが1点目で、2点目はレギュレーションについてでして、EU のお話をいただいたわけなんですが、EU 並みのレベルでのレギュレーションといったものを導入している、国、地域というものは、他にどういうところがあるというふうにお考えですか。
First of all, about AfterPay and New Zealand, and I think it's too early to tell. I think the initial trends, and as far as I know, is that they're very similar markets. And remember, as I responded to the gentleman's question, we went to the partner, a company called TradeMe, and I think TradeMe is one of the biggest. It's like eBay and Amazon of New Zealand. So we went to the respectful partner. So so first of all, we have that threshold of actually having them, so we don't have exact communications because they were there after doing the work. But I think initial trend is very similar, and it should be. The Anglo-Saxon countries being the culture and not really different. It's going to be interesting how it goes in other countries. It won't work in AfterPay. Won't work in some countries. And in all countries that actually, for example, I'm originally from Croatia. All the banks, all the credit cards, they already give me 12 months zero interest. So it's going to be very hard for the AfterPay to go into that market. But this is a big wall. We'll find the market where it actually goes into. And the second question about regulation. I have to say that I don't know any other country outside the EU continent that actually is working this proactively. Outside the EU, Switzerland is embracing the change as well. Norway is as well, being part of the European Economic Area. But I don't know any other countries that are actually working that hard. But for example, in case of Australia, the standards are not that high as in Europe, so it's still good flexibility to develop products like AfterPay. And I'm actually here quite eager to learn about the Japan financial sector environment and how it's actually is embracing. But hopefully, a lot of countries are actually taking the EU example as an example, and probably most of them are actually watching to see what's worked, what wasn't, before they implement it in our country. Any other question? It's lunchtime, isn't it? Well, if not, I'll be here, so if you have any follow-up questions, let me know. But thank you very much. I appreciate that, and thanks for the question.